Hello and welcome to the channel. In this channel, what I want to do is I want to show you how to build incredible tools for yourself, for your company, maybe for your customers. And I will be demonstrating different tools. In this playlist, I will be focusing on Base 44, a great vibe coding tool. So we'll dive into different features in different videos, but I want this to be a kind of introduction video just to show you what is possible. And because the Super Bowl is coming up, I thought it would be a great idea to maybe vibe code a solution to having fun in the Super Bowl. So I'm on the Base 44 platform. You'll have a link in the description. And what I need to do once I've signed up, I just need to tell it what do I want to build. And I could type, but in this case, I want to make it even easier for myself. I'm just going to press this speech to text button with the microphone, and I'm just going to tell it what I'm thinking about. So I'm thinking about building an application for the Super Bowl that is coming up. I want this application to enable people who are watching the game to capture moments. And it could be people are in the stadium enjoying the moment, taking photos, or it could be people who are on the couch in a bar with friends and they want to capture great moments in the game. And it might be capturing by, taking a photo, maybe talking about what's happening in the game, interpreting, making some guesses, and then these moments are going to be organized on a timeline. So we know what happened in the game. So if there was a touchdown or if there was a something called by the referees, or a goal, then then they can replay this state of events, and they can share this, and they can come back to those incredible moments in the game. So now I stopped recording. It's going to um, just dump whatever I wrote into here. Now there's other capabilities here. I could do all kinds of planning and things like that, or I could upload some images. And actually, I thought that I want to add a couple of more comments on the design. So when you're designing the game, I want you to give it like a feel of like a real celebration of the game. So if there's a goal, a moment of a goal or a touchdown, then there will be some celebrations and animation on the screen. If there's there's some tension in the game. We want to show this through visual effects and give it a general feel of this grand event of a Super Bowl. So it added this kind of design criteria, and I'm not going to give it too much information about which data items, what elements. I just want to show you how easily you can get started. In further videos, we're going to show how you can have more planned approach to building application. But now that I'm ready, I'm just going to send it to do its work. And while it's doing that, you'll see that this is starting to make a plan. Super Bowl moments, the plan. Here are the key features: capture the moment, live timeline, all kinds of moment types. So touchdown, field goal, turnover, penalty, whatever, celebration effects, and so on. So it's taking what I shared with it, it's constructing a plan and including design language, some structure, so the pages that it's going to have, and then it's starting to actually code, right? So it's building the entities. So entities are kind of the data tables that are going to be there. So if I'm want to capture a moment, we need somehow some characteristics of this moment, right? So it's building a table where it will store all the entities. I'll show you some of the great things in Base 44 that basically you can spin up your idea very easily. Base 44 takes care of um, the data, any storage. So if you're going to upload images for this, in this case, files, it's going to take care of that. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to worry about it. It's going to be taking care of people logging into this website. So if you want to share this application with your friends, with your family, it will manage the authentication, the users going in and each one seeing only their own data, and the security around that. It's managing the hosting. You're going to be able, in this window, you're going to be able to see the preview of the application, And there's a whole bunch of stuff that we are going to go over in this video or in future videos that allow you to have more and more control of this application. But for this video, I want you to understand that this is very easy to start, very easy to kind of play around. You don't need to know any coding. You don't need to know anything about architecture or hosting or anything else. Base 44 is taking care of all of that. And you just need to come with the idea to start the application, and then we can kind of improve, we can iterate. What I will also show you in future videos is all kinds of tips and tricks that I use to get to better results so that you understand what happens under the hood when you build with Base 44. So for now, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to give it a few minutes. You'll see it's starting to create some more features, right? Capturing moments, live timeline, celebration effect, and so on. It's deciding on the colors, but at least for the first what we call like a prompt, when it's starting to build, it's going to take a few minutes because it's preparing all the infrastructure that we need in order to have all these features in our applications. So I'll pause. It will probably take a couple of minutes, and we'll be back when there's some of the pages built in here so we can go over them. So we're back, and you can see that we have the first version of the application open for us. We already see that it doesn't have the current data of what is the game. We'll fix this in a minute. So let's start with that. We're gonna capture an image of the data with the current information. We're just gonna grab and drag that image to the window, and then we're gonna ask it to update the website. So this year it's 2026. In the screenshot, you'll see the teams that are playing this year. I want you to update the data so it's relevant to 2026. So in this approach, as I said, we're just going to give it what we did. We started with a very blank slate. We told it to get started. And now we're doing some kind of modifications and adjustments. And let's see how it fixes this design and also maybe some of the moments in order to fit what's happening. In the meantime, we can see, you can see each moment has kind of its details. Whilst it's working, we can also see that you can enter all kinds of moments, right? You can capture moments of different types, big plays, penalties, 2-minute warnings. You can give it, whichever team is playing. um, Again, if I were to build this kind of in a more structured way, I would allow the admin to enter which teams are playing, and more information. But here I kind of wanted to have a quick approach. And you see this is kind of built on a timeline. There's quarters, there's the moment where this is happening, right? So it did quite a good job for a first run. And now you can see it's editing um, the information. It's also editing the page. It's editing some of the data. And in a minute, we'll see a new version of this website with the updated information. In the meantime, I can show you the dashboard behind the scenes of this application. So the overview is the name of the application, and you can just here type and change the name for if I'm happy with this name. And here you could even change the description. There's Once you have users, they're going to show up here, and you can invite more users through this window. Um, the data, so whatever data tables are going to be here, in this case it's the moments that we have. You can have multiple tables here with different kinds of information. For more complex applications, of course, we're going to have all kinds of tables here, and we can add more fields to them and change them, or ask the app to actually do it, and we can filter them. There's a whole bunch of things here. We're not going to go over everything. So, but for example, there's security. We can decide who's able to see the different types of information. We can even see the code of the application, which we're not going to do now. We can set up agents to work with the users, and all kinds of settings. So, for example, we could decide what's the way to authenticate into this application. So right now, the default is set to Google authentication, people with Google accounts, or people can create their own accounts with email and password. There's other methods. There are other methods where you can set up authentication. There's other settings here. We're not going to go into all of these in this video, but in future videos, we're going to dive deeper so you can have lots of control on what's happening in your application. For now, you'll see that now, because we're asking it to change some information, right? The moments in the game are affected by which teams are playing. So it's asking us to delete some of the records that were in the data. So I'm going to approve that so that we can move forward. I'm going to be back to previewing the application. You can already see that the teams are updated. It's going to tell me what it did. So one thing which is good to do is kind of see its thinking. So it's fought for seconds. It decided to do all these changes, and now we have our application. And if I want to just kind of see how it looks, I can move away the panel. I can see how it looks in mobile. So you can see this is immediately responsive and can work on the mobile. Great if you're in a bar. And we can go back to desktop. Um, I'm going to pause here. We're going to come back and learn more stuff about Base44 and how to control them. For now, go enjoy the game, enjoy the moments with your friends, and come back when you're ready to learn more about Base44 and how you can build great stuff with it. Either fun things like this one, personal things for your own needs, or things for your business, for your customers. I'm Amir. Come back and learn on the Base 44 Academy.